It was Gloria Estefan who said it best: the rhythm will get you. All right, y'all, let's talk about country rhythm. I'm going to show you two patterns today, but we're going to dig into them a little deeper and maybe come up with some more variations. We're just going to see where this takes us. Rhythm playing in country music is essential. Country music is usually all about the singer and the lyrics and getting that feeling across. So having a good steady rhythm and knowing where you fit in a larger country band, because in a country band you could be anything from a 3-piece up to a 5, 6, 7 piece. You could have a fiddle in there, pedal steel. There's all these things, and if you can lay down a great rhythm, you can hear a lot of really neat feels coming from some of the other instruments. So let's hop in here close. Like I said, we're going to do two patterns, and hopefully we learned something today, y'all. Let's have some fun. So the first thing we're going to work on is one of the most basic patterns out there. You'll hear it a lot in really old 50s, 40s country music, especially Hank Williams, and it's where he's playing these open chords, but he's using his pick to alternate the bass. So like if I'm playing an E chord, just a standard major E, so we just got a regular E chord, right? But what he's doing is he's hitting the E string, and then he's kind of raking the other strings, and then he'll hit the A string, which is fretted at the 2nd fret, which gets you a B. So you're going from, and is the 5th of the chord. So you're going 1, click, 5, 1, 5, E, B, E, B, and then he would move to the A. You can bar it or use all your fingers, same thing. You're going A, but in this time, he's using the open E, which is the 5th of the A chord. So like that, so you get 1, 5, 1, 5, A, E, A, E. And then if we just go on up to the B for that 1, 4, 5 progression, now you could do this a couple of different ways. You could play a B7, which is A string on the 2nd fret, D string on the 1st fret, G string on the 2nd fret, and then your pinky, if you want to get that high E string there, on the 2nd fret, and then leave the B open, you get this B7 sound. But then he's alternating this way. You would alternate this way. You would go B, then you have to move your finger up. So this gets a little trickier. B, B, F sharp. Now if you don't want to do that 7th chord, another way you could do it for the B is to just do a plain major chord. So you're going to have your 1st finger that's on the A and the E string, so you can alternate between the B note and the F sharp note, which is the A string, E string. So think of it this way. So it's real tricky, so take it slow. So I'm going to run through this one time, and then we'll go back through and talk about it again. So. So that's it with the B major. Now let's do it with that B7 right quick. So it seems like not a lot's going on, right? Because you're using open chords that you learned at the very beginning. But the real trick is getting that right hand dexterity to where you're hitting the bass note and then getting that kind of muffled. So you'll notice, right, when I hit the bass note and I'm still fretting it, so you're using your palm to give you that rake sound by muting the strings. That way, really the only sound that's ringing out They're those bass notes. Part of where that came from is in the early days, they had an upright bass and they didn't have an electric bass. So your guitar player might try to kind of just mimic the bass sound of. So that's a standard one that you're always going to do. So now let's work on a variation, and I'm just going to play it and then I'll try to talk about the rhythm. All the hand movements are exactly the same. Okay, so for this variation, really the only difference is on the rake. So instead of hitting the bass note raking down, you're hitting the bass note and raking down and up, like that. And so that's how you get that other more train kind of rhythm of. There you go, easy peasy. Okay, let's work on this second one, which is a little more of kind of based off that working man blues pattern. It's a little more 60s, 70s. So I'm gonna play through it right quick and then we'll break it down. Ready? Okay, so first things first, this is all based off of an A major chord, kind of like the bar chord, but except we're taking out this E string. We don't want to do that, it just makes it too much. So you're pulling everything down. Let me get in a little closer so you can see this. So we're pulling this down. Now you could just go this way, where your A root is on the D string, and that still gets you an A chord. We're just leaving out those roots. Now, what makes this really go and makes it sound country is we're taking this middle finger and we're hammering on to get the major third. So you go like that. That's all we're doing. But the rhythm for it is what you're going to do is when you hammer on, and then it's two pulls up to get these high strings. So So go figure, it's all about the rhythm, right? So you're going down on the first downbeat, that's when you hammer on, and then it's so it's that's the rhythm for that. So, and this works in any key. So the main thing you need to know is your root is basically whatever note you have on the high E string. So it's A here. If I wanted to do it in C, I would just move up to the C position and I would go C. Now I have a choice to make. I can either come up here for the F to the, 13th fret, or I could do it down here at the 1st fret. And then I get the G. C. The trick is hammering on that third. And the nice thing about this is if you know where your bar chords are, you can do the same thing. Now, this next part is a little more working man blues. It uses the same pattern, that same hammer on, but we're gonna use these two fingers and we're gonna hybrid pick this, okay? So you're gonna get, and what we're doing is, let me pull in close here. Okay, so we're gonna do this working man blues. It's hybrid picking. We're picking these, the G string and the B string with these two fingers, and we're barring at the 5th fret. We pluck it, hammer on the G string at the 6th fret, and then we take this ring finger and we bar at the 7th to get that. So you get, okay? So once you get that, if you're doing the working man blues, it sounds like this. So it all revolves around that hammering on to your major third with your middle finger, because you can, so let's kind of go, I'm going to show you there's several ways you can do it, right? You've got, or you can hybrid pick it. You just got to listen to the rhythm of the track you're on. Or if you start to get really good at it and you start to syncopate, it could sound something like this. So there's two great patterns to work on. The fretting hand doesn't have to do a lot, but a lot is going on with your right hand, so just take it slow. Getting that dexterity to be able to just hit the bass notes when you want to, and then getting that kind of raking rhythm pattern just takes practice. And it's gonna get frustrating because you're gonna be like, geez, I'm not having to do anything. Why does this take so long? It's just the rhythm. The great thing is there's a lot of nice slow country songs out there that you can try. Look up a bunch of Hank Williams and that'll get you that alternating bass that you can work on. And then start looking kind of more into the 60s instead of the 40s and 50s for that second pattern I gave you. The reason they kind of call it a working man blues thing is working man blues, look that song up and you'll hear that pattern. A lot of songs. So the best thing I can tell you to do is just go slow, practice, and listen to lots of the music. To get those rhythms and get those feels, you gotta listen to the music and enjoy it, and it'll make you feel good, because country music's great. It's super fun. So thanks again for everybody that's subscribed so far. I think I'm getting close to 500 subscribers. Isn't that crazy? I couldn't believe it. So maybe we're already there by now. Who knows? Or maybe I'm at like 500,000 now when you're watching this a couple years later. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. So thanks again. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. And I got a few more things, a few more ideas coming up. So keep playing. Make sure you're having fun. And remember, if it sounds good, it is good. So talk to you guys next time.